Hey guys, I'm Krista, and this is my big sister Stacey.
And this is Sister Social Call. Hi, Sissy.
Hey sis, how are you?
I'm good. It's Sunday morning. Slow start on the long weekend. Lovely.
Oh yeah, she's the frosty one here again. Honestly, it was minus 34 when I got up this morning, so I was like, I'm not even getting out of bed. I'm just staying in bed until I don't know, till I had to get out. I was hungry. See, although should be the last few days of it. If it warms up a few degrees, I might go for a little walk this afternoon. But otherwise, I'm hunkered down again, which I don't mind.
It is starting to snow a little bit, but as I sent you the long range forecast, and spring is around the corner here, really warming up this week. So that is very exciting.
Yeah, us too. By Wednesday, I think it's going to be like -8, and then by the weekend, it'll be 0 temp. So it's golden. It's just coming.
Sissy, why don't you tell the listeners what we have on the show today?
Okay, we have chatted a teeny little bit about like fitness in our podcast thus far. Just thought we should maybe just go into that a little bit more and have a little bit more chats about that, because I think it's a big part of people's lives, and especially for us babes in our 40s. I know you've been on a fitness journey yourself, so I think we should chat a little bit about that, because I think lots of people will be able to resonate with what we've got going on and some of our concerns. So why don't you start us off with where you're at in your fitness journey life?
Yeah, totally. I think we should add one item to the list of things to talk about today. I think we should give a tiny little bit of an update on our 2025 goals.
Oh yeah, we'll circle back to that like later on. We can check in with that, and then everybody that's listening can be real and honest with themselves and check in and see where they're at, because we're 6 weeks into the new year.
Yeah. In episode 1, Krissy and I talked about our 2025 goals, and I had said that I started working out at a new gym and I want to continue with that. My continued personal education and research about what type of physical activity a post-menopausal woman should be doing, I kept reading about the benefits of weightlifting. So this is my understanding of what happens in our bodies after menopause. I am not a doctor, but this is what I have read, that as estrogen levels decrease after menopause, women may experience changes in their muscle mass, bone density, metabolism, and overall health. And weightlifting can address some of these challenges. So some of those are increased muscle mass and strength, improved bone density, enhanced metabolism, reduced risk of chronic disease, improved mental health, better balance and fall prevention. And that one is very important to me. Joint health, improved sleep quality, and increased confidence. In August, I joined a CrossFit gym, and it was really scary for me to join a CrossFit gym. I used to go to a large chain gym in Regina, and that was okay because it was just a lot of different people. The CrossFit gym was scary for me because of what the whole CrossFit vibe is that you see. Like, they're highly athletic, doing very intense exercises. And that just seemed really, really scary to me. I had a friend invite me to go, so I went with her for the first couple times to ease in, but it was still very scary. I don't feel like I belong in gyms, and I don't think that I am alone in that. I didn't grow up really playing sports, so I'm incredibly awkward, and I'm so clumsy. And Krissy really wants me to share a funny story about my awkwardness, and maybe I will in a little bit, but I'm really awkward. One of the things that feels really weird in the gym is like doing partner work. And so being new at this gym, people know who their good matches are. And I would just never get picked. I wasn't as strong or as fit as the others. So for the first while, it was really hard to fit in, and that didn't feel good either. And all humans want is to belong and fit in. So this actually brought up a lot of really strong emotions and feelings from my childhood of not being picked in gym class. And it's crazy. Like, I really had to dig deep into that. Like, these things at 44 years old should not bother me anymore, but they still do. Because like, that human need of being connected and belonging is just so strong. When I felt like I didn't belong or I wasn't chosen, It really had a lot of hard feelings for me to wrap my head around. Things are better now because I have been there for about 6 months, and I have met people that are in the same fitness level as me. So when they're around, we tend to just are naturally drawn to each other. Because I'm known around there now and I'm consistent, that has helped people also build trust to come. And even though I might not be at the same fitness level as them, that they know that I'm going to be there still for a little while longer. Anyways, I have realized that probably CrossFit really isn't actually for me though. My fitness goal is really just to be able to carry a laundry basket up 3 flights of stairs. That is really my goal. Be able to hike the mountains around us. Those don't sound like lofty goals, but I just want to age with grace and be kind to my body. And there are exercises at CrossFit that certainly support that, like deadlifting and carrying kettlebells and doing step-ups. I get those exercises and I really enjoy those exercises actually. But then there's other exercises that we do that I don't feel like that is aligned with that goal. The handstand push-ups. I cannot think of a practical application to this exercise in my daily life. And I actually mentioned this to my doctor. He goes, there is only one like actual activity. And he said, that's a keg stand. And he's right. I'm not going to ever do a keg stand in my life. I can tell you that right now for certain. So for me, that's a useless skill. They are reasonably often put up on the fitness board to do, and I just don't do them. I just do overhead presses instead, because reaching above my head and putting things up high totally makes sense to me, but doing handstand push-ups don't. So I don't know how much longer I'll be there. There's a new gym that's going to be opening up in the springtime that I think aligns a lot more with who I am and the type of fitness I want to do. It's yoga, it's spin, and she intends to do some weightlifting because the gym owner is at an age where she will also be experiencing or is experiencing perimenopausal symptoms and will go through menopause probably the next 10 years. So that's exciting to have a female owner that probably can relate to exactly what I'm going through. So that's a little bit about my fitness journey.
Oh, that's awesome. I think it's great. I think you probably there's probably a lot of people that are very similar to you. And I think you're kind of in an unique situation out there in Invermere because you do want to go to a gym, but there's not a lot of options because Invermere is it's a small mountain town. There's a lot of people vacation there, but as far as the population that's there all the time isn't probably so great that it really sustains multiple gyms. So you're kind of at a unique position where it's like you just went to a gym that was available to you, not necessarily because it aligned with you. Well, I think that the world puts situations in front of you to have to deal with something. So maybe it wasn't even just so much about fitness, but doing something that's out of your comfort zone and out of your wheelhouse. And then in turn, it brought up some things that you maybe didn't realize were still a thing. And then it brought up some things to deal with, and not just fitness wise.
Yeah, exactly. Like the belonging and not caring that I don't necessarily fit in and just do my own thing. You're not going to
Yeah,
everywhere.
100%. I feel that same thing too at times, but I'm such a believer. You only look like an idiot if you don't go try it. If you just don't do something, then it's just, you look more ridiculous than if you're out there trying. That's how I feel in my life. I just try anything and everything. So I think it's awesome. You're out there, you're trying something that's totally out of your comfort zone. You've talked to the owner of the gym to help accommodate what your needs and wants are. You've done all the things to make it a better experience for yourself, considering the situation that you're in.
Yeah. I will share my awkward story because you want to hear it so bad.
You don't have to, honestly, zero pressure. It doesn't matter to me. It is so cute when you were saying to me that you're like, I don't know if I really want to be vulnerable and put that out there. And I kind of thought about it and I was like, geez, I would have never even thought that. I just think it's such a cute story because honestly, we've all had those situations in life and in just even going to the gym. Oh my gosh. So I've done so many ridiculous things. I remember freaking squatting and totally farting and there's only one other person in the gym. Like that was in my gym here. 10 people can fit in their mat. Stuff like that happens. I had my headphones and I just pretended like it didn't even happen. Oh, well, whatever. But he had his headphones on too. So I mean, I'm sure he didn't hear me either. But it's just like things like that happen. Like we're moving our bodies in weird positions that we don't typically move them in. I think it's funny just because I know you and I love you. And I just think, oh, It's such a sister thing to do. So,
Will now because we've talked about it, and that'd be like bag booking.
okay, you're right. Please.
So Krissy really wants me to share this funny story about my awkwardness. And I'm only doing this because I want people to know that embarrassing things happen in the gym and you're going to live through it. And that's exactly what Krissy was just saying with her farting story. The first time I ever did a power snatch, I fell. So for people who are listening that don't know what a power snatch is, it's, besides that it's really funny to say, it's a dynamic and an explosive weightlifting movement that involves lifting a barbell from the ground to overhead in one continuous motion. And so Mom and Krissy both know how clumsy I am. So I sent them a text and said, I fell at the gym today. I had to explain that I was power snatching, and Mom knows nothing about weightlifting. And for sure, she doesn't know what a power snatch is. That's probably the first time she's ever actually heard the word power snatch. So I sent them a YouTube video and said, I fell between steps 3 and 4. So that was like at the kind of the high point of the like power snatch. I had way too much momentum, not enough weight because it was my first one. So I was doing it with like the things that we call woodies, which are like wood plates, just so the bar is off the ground. And I fell backwards straight on my butt. So it happens. And Krissy loves this story because I fall all the time. In fact, when I had my personal Instagram account, was she falls often because it's just such something that happens in my life all the time is falling. So that is my story, that things happen at the gym. I have fallen again at the gym since then, doing another exercise. Anyways, and that time the gym instructor ran over. He's like, just to let you know, it's happened to me too. Like, I just want to carry on and die in a hole here. So why don't you tell us about your fitness journey?
Well, gosh, you guys, I think 13 years ago, my ex-husband and I, we went to some Blue Jays games in Toronto with his family, aunts, uncle, cousins, mom, dad. We all went. And there's this picture of me at the game with a Blue Jays jersey on. And I never even recognized myself. I was in terrible shape. I had put on loads of weight. When I looked at it, I felt how uncomfortable that I looked. Anyways, get back. I get a personal trainer. I've always liked to be active and outdoors. That's something I've always really enjoyed my whole life. We were camp kids, but we did hiking, canoeing, kayaking. We did stuff like that. We did play ball, but we've always been active people in some capacity. And so that's always been something I've really loved. So my life changed a lot when I moved back from Alberta. When I came home, I was coming off of like a few-year drug bender. Of course, when you change your life, you take out a drug addiction and you usually supplement that kind of thing with food or booze or whatever. I think food was kind of my thing. So I just got really out of shape and just wasn't focusing on fitness whatsoever. So got the personal trainer. We worked out and he got me to a place where I lost quite a bit of weight, but not so much that. I just felt strength and I felt strong, which was really important. Then he got me into running, half marathons. My last half marathon was in Banff just before COVID happened. And something happened when I was running there and I couldn't take a deep breath of air. I used to live in the mountains. I used to live in Canmore and I was there about 4 days before I ran the race. And I even did a short run before I did it. And I couldn't take a deep breath of air, which was like the first inclination that I had something more going on with my lungs than I probably knew. I used to run a lot and I don't run anymore, but I do walk a lot. I've always had a gym membership and our gym closed after COVID. The gym that I tooted in, you guys. Maybe that was a blessing after all. But anyhow, my girlfriend, she was doing the Beachbody workouts. She had some really great success with it. And of course, because you could do those workouts at home, it really worked great during COVID. So I was like, sign me up. I need something. Because truly for me, you guys, the reason I am into fitness is I do want to be strong. I am a strong person. I know that. But for me, it is a mental health thing first and foremost. Like I cannot function if I don't do some form of exercise in my day. I feel totally off. Even if it's just like a half an hour yoga, I get outside for even just 1 kilometer walk. It doesn't need to be major, but it needs to be something because I need to have that time for just myself to refocus, ground myself. It has become that more so than the fitness part of it. Although I love that. And I do, like my sister, I want to be a strong person indefinitely. For me, honestly, it started off as a weight loss thing and then it became more of a mental health. I'm not so focused on the weight loss journey part of it anymore. Of course, I keep tabs on that because I don't want to lose control of myself like I did once before, which was really scary. I weighed just over 200 pounds when I started with the personal trainer. I'm not even that far from there right now, but my body is a totally different shape because I lift weights and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much my fitness journey. I love it. 40-year-old lady just trying to keep it together.
That is just sums it up. It's just trying to keep the body together, moving.
Yes.
And Auntie Jean's favorite saying, Krissy, is
Motion is lotion. Motion is lotion. That comes from our 87-year-old auntie. Move your body a little bit every day if, weather permits or whatever. But she walks a little bit as much as she can.
She's a wise woman.
She's a wise woman.
I can't wait to have her on in August.
I know. I hope it works though.
Yeah.
I hope we can hope we can get her poop in a group enough to do that.
Let's talk about our goals. Let's give an update.
I feel like we need a non-sponsor sponsor before we do that.
Okay. Yesterday I was out in town going to some local businesses and I stopped in our little bookstore called 4 Points, and it is an incredible experience. Every time I go in there, I feel like I am in a big city bookshop. The customer service is outstanding. Our friends Grant and Thelma own it. They actually own a bookstore also in Golden. I get very excited when I go in there and to have such a great bookstore in our little town. So
it is great.
Grant and Thelma.
Well, okay, let's take this time now to touch base on our 2025 goals. So we had some goals set out and I thought, because fitness has been a part of them, I thought let's chat about those because we do drop off a bit. So let's check in, Stacey. How are your goals coming along?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. The resolution momentum definitely drops off at this time of the year. And my big resolution was big energy, carrying my big creative energy forward throughout the year. And I am noticing it dropping off and just getting into the routine. So I have to be a lot more mindful about document things I've done each day that bring me that big energy. So I haven't done it every day, but close to. So small steps I'm taking to be creative or in the planning stage or towards my health journey. I can see that it's fallen off a little bit, like that big energy that I want. But some of the things that have been exciting is obviously our podcast. This is our 7th episode we're recording. We have published 6 episodes. We got an Instagram account and you can now find us on Apple and Spotify. So all of those things in 7 weeks, 8 weeks is very big energy. And that is, I feel like has accomplished a lot. And when I look at it in hindsight, that feels like a lot to do in 2 months. But I'm also feeling like in the day-to-day, I'm missing the big energy of around those things.
It takes small things to make big energy that you have to remind yourself of. It takes all those little things in life create this big magical world and life that we live in. So can't discredit all the little, what we say little. I mean, those are large things that we've accomplished and that you've accomplished because you really have taken the podcast by the reins. You're really diving in deep and doing all the editing. It's amazing. People often will talk about this stuff till they're blue in the face, but they don't actually act on it. So you got to be proud of yourself, sis. In 6 weeks, lots of great big things have been, big energy has been happening from my point of view.
It just doesn't have the same big energy planning and feelings that I had like in November, December, January.
Because we're in it. We're making it happen now.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that is what it is. Maybe that is what happens when you're living your life, and it does lose some of that planning excitement, but we're creating the life that we dream of.
And you thrive, and planning is your big energy. That's your jam. We're putting our plan into action here.
Yeah. And the other goals I had were my health goal, which I'm hitting the gym. I went to a dietitian. I talked about that a few episodes ago. I talked about my tough news from my doctor a couple days ago. But knowing all of these things, I am actively working towards having optimal health. So hiked this month in Palm Springs. We are hot springing. We are skiing. And I think the biggest one is that I finally figured out a time to take my vitamins regularly. And an actual big win for me to remember to take my vitamins daily. I'm happy with how things are progressing.
That's pretty awesome. I'm going to touch base on my goals, except the funny thing is that I can't even remember what my goals were really. But I do know that one of my goals was this 1,000-kilometer challenge. If I stay on track, it'll be 83.3 kilometers a month. And I just got to 83 kilometers. So I'm like half month behind almost, but I can make it up when it gets nicer out because we've had crap weather. And as much as I say I like to get outside for a walk, it might sometimes just only be a kilometer, which I need to do 2.7 kilometers a day. So, that's kind of where I'm at with that. So I'm trying to get out there and bundling up and like walking in ski pants and a big parka. Oh, yesterday I did a 6-kilometer walk and it's just like you're carrying an extra 7 pounds of freaking jacket, ski pants, big boots. Like, anyways, I have faith that I'm going to recover. I wish I knew what the rest of my goals were. I have them written down. The thing is that if I don't need to know it right now, it's out of my head because I got a million things going on. So,
all right, sis, it's peaks, pits, and plans for the week. Why don't you start us off for this week?
So my pit this week is at the salon. My salon is in Regina Beach. And the infrastructure in Regina Beach is ancient. And so we had a water main break and it affected the salon. I had no water. And so you can't really operate a hair salon with no water. So that was my pit, just a little bit inconvenient. Tomorrow is a holiday in Canada. And I'll be going into work, which is fine. I'm self-employed. We don't follow that whole holiday thing. You got to do what you got to do. So I'll be in work tomorrow, which is all good. But thankfully, this is really out of my control. And everybody that comes to the salon is always super understanding because this stuff rarely happens. So that was my pit. And my peak, well, my peak is my ladies group. This week was its final week and it was a very amazing journey. And then our facilitator, Christine, who's the somatic practitioner, who's my therapist, she actually offered to do it for 6 more weeks. And so that is a super peak for me because I just honestly feel that my life is changing and has already changed so significantly from being in this group and working with Christine. I can't even begin to explain what has happened. It's so unbelievable, the experience that has happened with these women that I've been doing it with. It's been so life-changing. So I'm pumped that she's going to be doing it for another 6 weeks. It's definitely going to throw my schedule off a little bit wonky. So I'm actually probably going to have to pick up like a Monday afternoon or change my schedule up for the next 6 weeks to be able to accommodate that. But you cannot put a value on your mental health, yourself. You have to look after yourself. And so I feel that this is being presented to me because I need to do this. This is what's meant for my life right now. And I don't want to miss the opportunity to continue on with this journey because it's already been so radical and life-changing already. Of course, we forgot to mention it last week, but we have got our podcast on Apple and Spotify now. So that is 2 thumbs up. And that's huge for us. So good job, Sissy, on making that all happen and unfold and figure that all out for us. And the plans for this coming week, well, it's going to be a lot of catch up because I have to squeeze people in at work. So I'm going to be working some longer days, working tomorrow. But that's the beauty of being your own boss and running your own show. If you want to go into work at 7 a.m. and work till midnight, you can in the industry that I work in because it's all appointment based. So I can kind of just alter whatever I need to accommodate what I need. So I'll just be working a whole big bunch. I have a riding lesson Tuesday morning. That's been going really, really, really good. And then I'll be going out to the ranch this weekend. I'm going to do that. Hopefully I'll get out for a ski. It's supposed to be really, really nice. So we'll probably try to get some things done around the farm and then, do some skiing. And other than that, it's just going to be kind of a regular standard week for me, which is good. I'm happy for that. So that's pretty much it for me, sis. What about you?
Well, I was thinking about my week and I actually don't have any pets. It was a good week. I have no complaints. It was really good. So that's great.
Brilliant.
Yep. Peaks. I was also very excited to get us on Apple and Spotify. That was really exciting.
Huge. Good job.
We were excited to install the shower and have showers this week. That was fun.
I was thinking about that after you posted that. I was like, You guys will get to know my sister as we do the podcast, but you will understand that that is a 100% a Stacey and Sean thing to do, to purchase a shower head as a souvenir from their holiday. They are the most practical people you will ever meet in your life, and I love that about them so very much.
Yeah, but it is luxurious, our shower. So it was practical, but also.
Well, I plan to spend a good chunk of my time out there visiting in your guys' shower then. You didn't think to bring me one back.
Yeah, it did not cross my mind. Getting my office set up, we are getting there. Last week I complained I was stressed about my office situation. It's getting there. We have a lot of the boxes that came from IKEA are going out today. My office is getting organized, and I think I'm going to ask Sean for some help to tie off some of my cords that are everywhere. We're getting there, slowly but surely, but I'm happy with the progress. And we did a small bathroom renovation this weekend. So this is very exciting. We wallpapered with big palm leaf wallpaper. So it's a bold statement in the middle of the mountains, but it's pretty fun. And we got a new vanity, and
I think your bathroom is perfect. I love the wallpaper that Sean chose.
yeah. And yesterday when you mentioned that at the first Pure Vita salon, you had that kind of similar wallpaper with big palms on it. I totally forgot about that. I don't even remember really.
Well, because it wasn't always like that. When we painted, I don't know how many years it was in the midst of that, probably around like four or 5 years into being down there, 5, I'd say. We painted everything white, and then we put up that wallpaper behind where the till was. And it was black and white palms.
Oh, that's why I don't remember it. Okay. It wasn't green.
No, it was black and white.
Anyways, so that's fun. We're just almost done it. It's fun to do little renovations, little pick-me-ups here and there. And then plans, not too much this week. I have a couple walks scheduled with friends, a physio appointment. I booked myself a massage appointment this morning. And we're planning to go night skiing next Saturday. They offer this only in the month of February, but there's a big warm up this week, plus lots of rain. So we will keep our fingers crossed. And then next Sunday, our friend's mom is going to teach us a group of us, how to play pickleball. And I'm super stoked about that because learning how to play pickleball was on my 40s list. And I think actually we should do an episode about my 40s list because I will reference it a lot. But learning how to play pickleball is on my 40s list. I would like to perhaps play more regularly, not in a league, but like maybe weekly lessons or something like that. I took tennis lessons about 8 or 9 years ago, and I enjoyed tennis, but it is a hard sport. And I think pickleball is also a hard sport, but not as hard. And it's like growing at such a rapid rate. There's so many people that play it.
I have to tell you something. This past week, I talked to 2 different clients about pickleball because they offer pickleball here. And they both told me the similar statistic. Jolene was in Arizona, and one of the girls that she was playing with tripped and fell, broke her wrist. And when they were in the hospital, it said they see the greatest amount of breaks from pickleball accidents. That was one client. Then a gentleman. He's a retired firefighter. He's very active. Him and his wife do the pickleball out here. And he told me the same statistic. And so I am a little concerned about you playing pickleball.
That is fair. I am clumsy, as we have established in this episode. I'm clumsy.
I'm concerned for me too. Like, I really want to learn as well. And I thought, I can't afford to break my wrist or something because that's my livelihood.
You can see the tripping hazard for sure. Also, the bone breaking. This goes back to our top of this episode when we're talking about as we age and the decrease in estrogen and how our bones become more brittle. So I could see this as a trend because it's the age of people that are playing pickleball.
The demographic, yes.
So that shouldn't be all that surprising.
Because I thought that pickleball was kind of like an active sport, but a step down in active from tennis. It's kind of what I always had in my head, which obviously I'm wrong. I have an 82-year-old client, Dot, who plays pickleball regularly. And so I just kind of always think, well, if Dot's out there doing it, surely we can all do it. But I guess it's just one of those things where it's like, play at your level. But when I heard those 2 people tell me that, again, I was like, I'm hearing this twice for a reason. Maybe I shouldn't be running to the pickleball court too quickly.
Well, I'm very excited to learn how to play.
Yeah. So who's teaching you?
Our friend Ian's mom, Andrea. She's very involved in the pickleball group here in Invermere, and we have rented space at a gym, and there's 6 of us going plus her. So she's going to teach us how to play pickleball.
Well, I can't wait to hear how that goes, because I'm not totally convinced that I need to be running to the pickleball court. But if you try first, you might convince me.
Yeah, I think it would be really fun to have a couple friends that we can go out every now and then and just whack the ball around a little bit, but know how to play.
Yeah, here at the beach, there's a huge pickleball community as well. Like, it's a big thing out here.
Exactly. Well, I think that concludes our episode, sis.
Okay, sounds fabulous. I think we covered a lot in this episode, so let's wrap her up. I think we've had a great conversation. I know lots of people are going to be able to relate to what we've talked about. We know that our family and friends have been listening. Oh my gosh, you guys, like, we've had some good download action from you all. So thank you so much for being a part of this and for joining in and listening to us. And honestly, all your guys' wonderful comments and text messages and messages in general have been so heartwarming and so lovely. Thank you for all that.
Yeah, so motivating.
So motivating. And if you guys want to find us out there in the world, you can find Sisters Social Call on Instagram. You can find myself, Krista. I have Facebook, Instagram, some YouTube channels, TikTok. I got all the fun things. And Stacey, you can find her on LinkedIn as well. She also has Facebook. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for us. So thank you guys so much. We totally appreciate the love.
Yeah, thank you everybody so much. Love you, sissy.
Love you, sis. Have a good week.